calm, little graffiti, stuff like here. Eugene, Oregon. Nice little city, a little south of Portland. They got nice hippies here. Nice little fun town. Really kind of laid back. I haven't really met any uptight people here. But the one thing I'd say is it's a good place to start, spend a day. Great forests and camping in the nearby. Normally I go up the coast or I go up through the center. I'm going to try going up the river this time on this trip. And we'll see what happens, because it could be pretty boring. We're kind of hoping that I find stuff. Today, this trip, starting off from Eugene, Oregon. Eugene, Oregon, if you haven't seen on the map, was of course just a little south, about 2 hours south of Portland. And the main highway is obviously I-5, which goes straight up through it. I tend to avoid the highways wherever I can, and usually can. This time, I'm gonna actually travel right next to I-5, the whole way up, all the way up into Portland. For the most of the trip, I couldn't see the highway, so I was off the road. I had to go through a number of little towns and whatnot, so it does slow you down. It does take a lot longer, but I think it's worth it in the fact that you actually see more of the country and you can actually see things and whatnot. Why this short trip is obvious. I know people who live in Eugene that I wanted to visit, and I know people who live in Portland who I want to visit. So that makes these, two stops that I like to go to. So that's the real crux of the matter. Eugene and Portland are exactly very, very similar in temperament. Eugene just happens to be, I guess, like the baby sibling sister of the Portland area. You see the same type of people. They obviously get the same type of weather, and I guess Eugene would be, if you just kind of don't want as big a city as Portland is, not that it's that big a city, but you still want to be kind of like near all the things, because you talk to people in Eugene, they go to Portland all the time. If there's some kind of like concert or show coming, it will go to Portland, and everyone from Eugene will just go right up to Portland to see it. Other than that, a lot of things are also very similar with Eugene and Portland. They have, like Portland's really known for its craft brewing scene. Eugene has a very nice craft brewing scene. Portland has a homeless problem. Eugene has a homeless problem. The people dress the same. It's really simple. It's really similar. I would even see people could very easily mistake people from Eugene as being from Portland. They're really that similar. I mean, I even made the mistake of actually calling someone in Eugene Portlandier, and you know, they weren't really that offended, because if you're like in New York, if you're from New Jersey and you accidentally mistake them for a New Yorker, they tend to get a little upset. But here it's not that way. The surrounding area is absolutely gorgeous. People will talk about going off to the east, where there's like really dense woods, great camping, great outdoors, or going off to the west. If you go west, more often than not, the people are just saying they're going to the coast. They'll just say they're going to the coast, and they're going there to camp or to some of the like vacation towns that are out there. But this was just a real short trip right up. I was looking for a museum, couldn't find it, so, well, you know, these things happen. But I would end up, obviously, in Portland, a city that I have been plenty of times and I know decently well. Okay? So that's the end of this trip.